today I have a special guest I have been waiting for to interview her because I want to know her story. Her name is Miss Sweet Honey T, but really known as T Willis, right?
Indeed, indeed.
She is a diva, 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 diva. I gotta tell you, I've been listening to your music. I'm in love with Show Me. I love the way you did I get so lonely. I love
Thank you. Okay,
that.
vocals.
You rock that. I swear I can sing. Listen, but you rock that. Yeah. So it's just so refreshing to hear such a nice, soft, beautiful voice. So
Thank
tell me, what's
you.
your story? How did you start singing, and what made you sing?
What made me sing, believe it or not, was Usher. When he came out with Nice and Slow, I was so addicted to that song. I was only 3 years old around the time that song came out. So I would be singing to my family and my mom. She'd be like, you too young to be singing all that. Like, you need to stop singing some 7 o'clock on the dot.
Mm,
But eventually, I started to fall in love with more artists like Brandy, Mariah Carey, Alicia Keys started to come out. Beyonce was on her solo deal. So mainly I would just kind of sing along to their little records and CD tracks and everything. Now, first, I got started in the choir. My uncle, he was a pastor, so I was singing his church. And then I had like my first solo there. And then just from then, like it just took off as far as performing. I took piano lessons. I started writing music when I was about maybe in the 4th or 5th grade. And when I was about 15 or 16 is when I started to do like theater. And then I started to get into the studio. So everyone in my high school knew me from, singing in the choir, doing theater. And then they would know like my SoundCloud back when I just had SoundCloud. And then just eventually I just started making more and more music, and people just started to keep streaming my music, and it just kept motivating me to make more and more. And now we're here.
that's because I'm telling you, you have a beautiful sound. I want to say it's a cross of Alicia Keys and someone else. It's not just totally like it's you have like a it's like a soft sound, but it's like a sexy like your sound. You be like, oh, I want to have cocktails and that kind of music is really like really sexy. Like, what gives
Thank
you that
you.
inspiration to write like that? Because most of your songs are like that.
Alicia Keys, like she's the one who started to get me on. Like when I found out Alicia Keys wrote her own songs, like from her, I think her first album was Songs in A Minor, and she wrote majority of those songs. Like that really convinced me to start writing my own stories. But then, like as I got older, like I wanted to write more, sultry stuff, as you said. So I started listening to more like Ashanti and Jhene Aiko. So I started, and that's who I get a lot. People say I'm like a cross between Jhene Aiko and Aaliyah, but I just write what I go through. Like that's my main thing. Like I experience different things, and then when I go write, it just all comes out.
You,
It's just amazing how it happens.
yeah, you're good. You're right. You can really, really write. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, I can hear Aaliyah. Absolutely, I can hear Aaliyah in there. I
Thanks.
Alicia Keys is so amazing.
I
Like,
love her.
I used to work with people always say, "Oh, you tell your story." Well, that's a part of the show. I got to tell some stories, right?
Right.
But Alicia Keys, I used to work with a group, a teenage group called Teens in Motion, and
That was her group, wasn't it?
yes, and
Yeah.
I was one of the adult. Uh, I don't know what I was doing. I was just like organizing everything. I facilitated a lot of stuff. So the founder of Teens in Motion is the brother of Alicia Keys' manager, Jeff Rock.
Mm,
So
wow.
we were around for a lot of Alicia Keys stuff, especially when she first started. And I have to say, I've been doing music a long time. I've been on all sides of the studio, all sides of the music. I've been behind the scenes, I've been in the studio, and
That's what's
I
up.
was so impressed with her before she was famous because I went to a session and she ran the session. And she was
Wow.
a young girl and she knew what she wanted to hear and she was so humble and I was like taken away with her. I was like, oh my God, this young girl is amazing. I saw it in her. Like I just like whatever she's doing, she's gonna make it because she was humble also. But it was
Hmm.
a bunch of adults and she really ran the session. And she ran it like in such a just such a professional way. So yeah, I got
Ooh, that just gave me chills. I
yeah,
didn't know that.
to meet Alicia Keys before. She was and I was around them a lot, and when she first did the MTV and the teenagers came on stage with her,
Mhm.
it was a good time. It was a good time. But her humbleness stole my heart, and I from there I was a fan. But yeah, your music, and you remind me of that, being humble. You're a teacher, you gotta be humble. But you
Right, right.
things, like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Miss T is a teacher, first grade teacher, and
Hmm.
I forgot to mention that. And yeah, but yeah, I hear that in you. I really hear I hear the sexiness. I hear the it's like you write from your heart. I can
I
tell
do.
stuff that you went through, or you going
Mm.
through, and you write, and that's what it's all about. And far as like your music career, where what are you doing now? Where are you going with it right now?
Right now, I mean, honestly, I love my job. I love what I do. Like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I'm not out here looking to get famous. I'm not out here looking to get signed. Like, I genuinely just love making music and I love putting my music out. And it just feels good. Like, not even necessarily my friends, but to like look on, my streams and, to look at my discography. Just, I can't say that word right. I'm going to skip that word, but to look at my streams and everything, and just to see like there's people from Africa listening to me, there's people from Australia listening. It's just such an amazing feeling to know that this little girl from Cleveland, Ohio has got people all over the world like listening to her music, and it's just a great feeling. And like I said, I just make music because I genuinely love singing and I love writing and I love composing and putting my music together, and putting that music out to know that people actually enjoy something that I love to do.
But you got
So
it. If you pursue
thank you.
it, you got it. It's yours. If you
Thank
pursue
you.
it, and that's what you want, I'm telling you, it's yours. Your sound is, you have the sound, you have the look, you have the sound, you have the personality. You got it. Just go all the way, pursue it, because you definitely, this is your time. You have for everyone to know that your music is on iTunes, your music is on Spotify, it's on what other platform? Mostly.
Everywhere. iHeartRadio, Title. It's
And
on
what is the
pretty
name
much
of the
pretty
CD?
much everything except Pandora. I got a few songs on Pandora, but most of my catalog is on like Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Apple Music, all that stuff.
And what is the name of your latest CD?
My latest CD is called Encore, Encore.
Encore.
And I'm coming out with another EP. Hopefully, I'm literally like 80% done. Hopefully next month it'll be out.
Okay. Oh my God, that's so exciting. I was just getting ready to send a link to my friend to tell her, like, you gotta listen to this CD. It is really, really
Thank
good.
you.
So do you do a lot of performances?
I do. I do. Most of them are in Cleveland. I don't really get out of Ohio much. I'm trying to, like, I'm in the process of trying to travel and perform at other venues, but with the whole COVID, the C word and everything going around, it's just a little more complicated for me right now. But I've sang the national anthem for the Indians up here. Like, I've
Oh,
performed, yeah, I've
that's
performed
great.
all around. Like, I try, I try to get out and perform, but most of, again, my stuff is like on SoundCloud, Apple Music, and all that.
Oh, yeah, because yeah, that's what it is. But when this COVID is lifted, I plan on all the artists that I'm interviewing. I plan on doing some type of showcase and inviting all the artists to perform, because I'm meeting like really some amazing people. I gotta tell you about Ohio. So I had a family member that lived in Ohio, and I went
Okay.
to Ohio once or twice, and then well, Bads and them from the song battle.
Song battle.
Yeah, I did a lot of artist development with them when they were younger, and so I got a show in Ohio. This is like so crazy. Like, I don't even know if they will remember. So we were all excited. We all got in the cars, different cars, and I mean, I took all these guys from like Brooklyn and
Aw.
Bronx to Ohio. So the
Hmm.
guy I was dealing with, um, booking his show, he was he showed all the signs of being crooked. I don't know how to tell him. Well, we get to Ohio and we get to this club, and I got all these little New York like attitude guys with me, and guess what? We get there and it's a gay club. I mean, gay, not gay, lesbian, and they did not like the guy. It was
Oh.
so bad, because if they knew I wouldn't have did that venue because they were
Right.
guys. And oh, I had a great time. They treated me so nice. I was I was
I bet you they did.
I was behind the scenes. I started running the whole talent show. I was DJ. I was doing all kinds of stuff. And the guys were looking at me like, what the guys?
Oh my goodness. At least you had fun.
Yeah, I did. I had a ball. And it was so much tension because, you know, it was really a lesbian club. And that was a fun, but it was just, that wasn't the venue for them to perform. And the guy never told me that. And because they really, it was tension. Guys, girls are bumping into the guys. I was like, oh my God. But listen, I'm not going to even lie. They'll tell you I had a ball. They were buying me drinks. And I was like, what's wrong with y'all? Just have a good time. Like,
that is funny.
But the tension was really, really
I'm
good.
sorry that happened to you. We got a few janky promoters out here. Don't get me wrong, but there are some.
He was straight from New York.
Oh, was he? Oh, that's even more messed up.
He was from maybe he didn't know. He claimed he didn't know. I just said that it wouldn't have been bad if I would have known it was that. Then I could have picked and choose.
Right.
Like, well, this artist could do that there, but just to bring these guys, it must have been like 20 guys, and they were looking at me like crazy. They was like, "Oh, you never book a show again with us," you know. But I was like, I didn't know, and I trusted to him. But it all turned out good. We had a good time in Ohio. We stayed like for the weekend, and we did have a good time. So it was nice. I can't even remember the name of the club. I know it was next to a hotel, but it was nice. Ohio is nice, and the parts that I've been in, I've been to Cleveland. It's nice and quiet. Seemed like the parts that I've been to.
Yeah, there's some good areas and there's some not so good areas, just like, you know, most cities. But right.
Have you ever been to New York?
I've been to New York one time for a choir competition.
For what?
And I got it was a choir competition. It was when I was in high school. I was only like, I think 17 at the time. But I got sick like the next day I was out there. Like it's just so like dusty. Like when I went, like I don't know if it was just my allergies being outside, but like literally the next day I woke up, I'm like, how am I supposed to perform in this choir competition? And now I'm sick. Maybe I'm just not used to it, but regardless, I still had a ball. We got to see the Statue of Liberty on some boat cruise. We were on the cruise all night, dancing and everything. We got to go on the subway, which is like an experience for me because like I feel badass riding the bus here, and I just felt super badass riding the subway in New York. So that was fun. And I think we got to see Central Park, and that was about it. We only saw a few things. We did a little bit of shopping, but I had a ball regardless, sick or not. I still had fun. We were at some
different.
Yeah. We were at some cathedral where we did our performance. It was like huge and creepy, but it was nice.
It's like New York, if you're coming from somewhere else, and like a lot of places are much more like cleaner, even like my family when they come from Atlanta, like, oh, I mean, in some places in New York, it's just so different. You know, New York is different. You know, you got to get a flavor for it and you be like, okay, this is just New York. You know, you go somewhere like Cleveland, you go places like the streets are spanking clean, you know.
Right.
It depends on where you go. If you're in Manhattan, yeah, you'll get that, you know, and it just depends, but it is a good experience, and I hope when this is over to be able to invite the artists to come to be, and I don't know if it's going to be, I doubt if it's going to be a competition. It's going to be a showcase, and yeah, I'm excited for that because, like I said, meeting some great artists. You know, if you had the opportunity to, let's say, collaborate with an artist that's made famous artist, who would it be?
Drake, hands down. It's just everything he touches is gold. Like, how can you not? Like, even if, like, I love Drake, don't get me wrong, but even if I didn't like Drake, it would have to be Drake because he just, everything he touches is just automatic number one. Like, I got to do Drake.
I could see that. Yeah. Definitely. How do you pick your tracks? Like, how do you go, what is your process of finding?
Oh my goodness. I am so picky when it comes to finding beats. Like, I feel bad. Like, I'll have producers like hand make me beats and like I'll hear it and I'll be like, nah. Like, it's just, if I don't hear like the first 30 seconds, if I don't have a feeling of, oh yeah, this is the one, I don't want it. Like, I have to feel like, oh yeah, I can write anything to this. But there's some beats where I hate it, but I bought them already. So I wrote to it and recorded them anyway. And like, it ended up being a good song. So I think I need to be more open-minded with which beats I pick. But at the same time, I'm so picky. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, I can say I like a beat and then the next day I hate it. Like it's just.
What's the process of beats? You get them off the internet. So things change since I was doing management and stuff. What's the process of finding a beat? Like
Well, I have a personal producer. He goes by the name of This Is Mo. He's from Columbus, Ohio. I've never met him a day in my life, but he produced every track on my last album except two. There's like two of them he didn't do. But I'll go to his beat page and like shop around. If I don't find anything on his beat page, he's like my number one source. If I don't find anything on his page, I'll go on YouTube and like buy beats off of YouTube. But it's hard with YouTube because I like having exclusive beats, but they're like so much money. So I'll have to like lease and buy these beats. And then when you lease a beat, somebody else might have that same beat and already have a song to it. So it's just like, sometimes I just got to kind of deal with, okay, somebody probably has their own song to this beat, but since I'm leasing it, I can't really afford to spend $1,000 on one beat, that I may not even like tomorrow. So it's just.
So if you lease the beat, right? So say you lease a beat and your beat just blows up.
Right.
What's the contract that you have with whoever you lease the beat for?
So for the leases, I get, most leases, I'm not saying all, but most leases you get like 500,000 streams. You can get however many shows. You can only get 2 radio stations. But like once I surpass that is when I either need to buy the beat or reach out to the producer and work out an arrangement, just so if my song does blow up and they get a little salty about, oh, you got my beat, you ain't, I know for a fact you over 500,000 streams. Like, okay, yeah, I need my money. So I could do it that way, but to avoid, being sued. But it's not really that big of a deal to me, at least for now. Now, when I start getting.
For now.
And, right.
Yeah, for now. But I don't know. You should just pursue this. Like really, really, your sound is really, really nice. And I know I'm not the person that told you that. So, and in the battle, when do you battle? I forgot who you battling against. I'm so bad at bass.
Kid Bod, it's Bode, Bodie, yeah, Kid Bodie. I think is who I go against next. I think it's next Friday.
Yeah, we're gonna do an R&B battle, and we ain't no rappers and singers. I don't know how Baz is judging. I don't know how he's gonna do that, but
yeah, I almost lost the last one. I'm blessed to be here now, but yeah.
Well, I don't know. I can't say I'm one of the judges, so
right.
Listen, you keep doing what you're doing because it's no way. This is the beginning for you, and you're gonna blow up. If I was you, I would reach out to different people because that's how you're gonna get. Although a lot of artists that's looking for artists, they shop YouTube. People have reached out to me like I don't even have like really a lot of. I get a lot of views, but I don't get a lot of subscribers.
Same here, right?
It'll blow one day, I guess, but I get people watching and they be like, "Oh my God, what's the deal on that artist?" And I don't even have a lot of artists on here yet, but I have a whole bunch of artists lined up. Like I'm up all night, like just editing videos, but it's all good because that's my base, that's my platform. I've always inspired artists, showcase artists. That's what I do. So hopefully somebody see this, like I just think that.
Hey, somebody.
Yeah. I just think that you really, 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 really should pursue it because you went that far. So many artists, you have stuff already on the platform. You know what I mean? You have like music already out there. Like, that's a big step.
It is.
That's a huge step. People don't know how huge that is. That's a huge step to go from singing. You're making it happen. This stuff is out there. Like that means that you are published. You're published out there. You're a professional singer. So go all the way with it, Miss Sweet Tea, because
thank you.
Why not? You know what I mean? Why not? You're not gonna wait till later and be like, I shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Right.
I meet singers, even having this platform. I know some singers. I'm like, you really need to get on the show, and they're still so afraid of letting the world know who they really are. I'm like, just let them know because you're gonna have people criticize you, but you're gonna have more positive stuff than the negative stuff. So and to be an artist you have to have a tough skin because the more you move up the uglier it kind of gets.
Trust me, I'm already there.
It starts to really come in and it gets ugly, but if that's what God has for you, that's what God has for you, and can't nobody take that from you. So you should just keep pursuing, just pursuing what you're doing and just go hard all the way with it.
You're so encouraging. You make me like want to go run a mile right
You
now.
know,
Thank
I'm
you.
telling you, sometimes like sometimes the people around you, they'll tell you, like, of course you have your team, your family, that should
Right.
they love you. I get it. But sometimes you need people that's outside of that to be like, damn, and
Mm.
I hear a lot of artists, but you just have if I would have thought you were like signed already to somebody. Just your sound. You got a really, really good sound. You got a really trained voice. I
Thank
can tell
you.
you've been in church, you've been somewhere because your voice is right. You have
Thank
real,
you.
and you have control, and you don't have bad singing habits. So many artists, they go, they
Sing here up.
right, they sing, but they don't get any kind of like professional or choir, because choir is professional because you're gonna
Hmm.
sing when you're in a choir. They don't, and they learn bad habits, bad
Right.
pronunciation, bad breathing habits. You have to breathe when you sing, and if somebody don't tell you that you got to be breathing, they telling you wrong. So it's you have all of that. You know what I mean? Like you're past that. So yeah, if I was you, I'd just pursue that all the way. Middle child, say, give us a shout out when you make it, because I can,
For sure.
yeah, I can see it. I look at even like Jeff Robinson had Alicia Keys. He had Alicia Keys, and now he has her, and he's had her for a very, very long time, since she was a little girl, and
Mm.
so I just watched the development of these art. You remind me of her too a little bit. I don't know what it is, but you remind me of her also. She You remind me of her in your writing, because
That's the number one reason why, right?
you remind me of her in your writing, and she, because I think she's a really good writer. How did you know that you could write? Like what was the first time you realized like you could write?
I wrote this corny song in the third grade. Like I remember it to this day. It was like Supergirl. Like I was just talking about like just some like third grade stuff. I remember the words and everything. And I would sing it on the bus. And like the next day, like my friends were singing it. Like this is before we could record. This is before we had cell phones. Like they remembered that melody the next day and they were singing the song the next day. And I was like, what? That's my song. They're like, yeah, it's stuck in my head for some reason. I'm like, okay, I think I'm good at this. Let me get just ever since, like, I just diaries full of little poems, songs. And finally, when I, made it to where I could work and make my own money, I took myself to the studio and I just started recording from there. And it's just been a wrap ever since 15 or 16.
Wow, that's an amazing story. But you know what? That's when it starts. I tell young people all the time, don't wait until you get like in your 20s, and you already
Right.
many, many bad habits vocally. And now
Mm-hmm.
you wanna, and not to say it can't happen, because it can, but you should start. If you have it, you start young. I have a young Latin girl. She could sing. She's
Really?
scared to death. I'm like, come on, she's scared to death. I'm like, girl, you got it, so use it. So I love that. That's so inspiring. Do you sing to your students?
I do, and they love it. Like it's a treat though. Like only if they good. They're like, Miss Willis, can you sing to us today? I don't know. Was you on green today? No. Then I will not sing.
Where are you
So
from? Where do you originate from? What's your heritage? What's your
I originate from Youngstown, Ohio, which is like an hour away from Cleveland. I'm Black. I consider myself Black. I mean, I have like, grandparents who are, white and mixed, but both of my parents are Black. So I consider myself Black, but we didn't move to Cleveland until I was about 8 or 9. I was in the fourth grade when we moved to
Where did
Cleveland.
you live
So
before that? Where did you live before that?
Youngstown, Ohio.
Oh, Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah, it's like an hour away from Ohio. It's basically Cleveland, just country.
Oh,
Like that's the only difference. It's
okay.
more like country land, like farms and stuff like. I mean, it's still like urban. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like a big city like Cleveland.
If there's anywhere else you would like to live, where do you think you would want to live?
Mm. I would say Florida, but I don't do the little lizards and everything running around. But I would say California if I could afford, because I know it costs an arm and a leg to comfortably live out there. But I would definitely say somewhere in Southern California where I ain't got to shovel no snow, you know, wear no sweaters.
I'm asking that because when you are famous, you're gonna come back to this interview. I'm like, remember when I asked you where did you want to live?
Right.
But
Right.
I know that's gonna happen. But Miss Sweet Tea, I am so delighted that you came on the show. I am honored. I think you are amazing, and you
Thank
are
you.
inspiration for a lot of people. You know that it can happen and it can be done. Don't waste it. Your voice. You worked your whole life up to sing. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you, even though you have to have other jobs because you got to pay the bills, but
Mm.
you've been singing since you were 3. You've been writing songs, you know, and you have prepared yourself for this, and that's why you sound the way you sound. So you know, don't waste it. Do it, girl. I'm gonna be
Thank
like, what
you.
you doing? What you doing? If I can pass it on, I will pass. You know, your music on and let people know about you because I think that you need a shot. You know,
Thank you so much.
you
And
know.
thank you for reaching out as well.
Oh, when I heard you, I was like, Bash, she got to be on my show. He was like, you know, I love the battle, and it's so exciting because, you know, I feel like it's so many young people, and not just young people, just people that's like minded, and everybody is really respectable. And
Mhm.
we hear so much, and I've been preaching this for 2 days. Like, we hear so much crap about the hood and our neighborhood and black people. We have
Right.
so much love. We are so creative. We give so much
Amen.
love. It needs to be shown, and we need to like support each other and just show the world. This not, you know, because right now it's so much gun violence going on. But even with all the gun violence, and it's so unfortunate that people are losing their lives, that's a very small minority of what goes on in the, so they say, the hood. You know,
Right.
it's other things that go on that's amazing, but you don't see it. So my whole premise of this is just showcasing the love, showcasing the talent, good people, everybody that came on the show so far, just love, you know, just you know, it's a good thing, and that's what I need to showcase. You know, I feel like, you know, everybody got their calling. This is mine
Right.
right now. To showcase the good stuff, you know, and you are
Mm.
good stuff. And I am so happy to have had you on the show. Is there anything you'd like to tell the people or anything you would like to say?
Thank you guys for watching. You made it this far, and I appreciate it. If you want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram at sweet honey TEE underscore. Don't leave out the underscore again. Sweet honey T underscore. You can follow all my music on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, iHeartRadio. Sweet T Willis TEE Willis, like Bruce Willis. And thanks again for watching. Shout out to Cleveland, Ohio. Shout out to New York. And shout out to Miss Brenda in Middle Child Entertainment.
Thank you, guys. I thank you so much. And guys, I will see you next week.